everybody, welcome to the Comic Game Movie Show. My name is Deshaun, and today I'm here to review Deadpool and Wolverine. Now, this will be pretty spoilerific, so I'm sorry. Anywho, Deadpool and Wolverine. So, the last Deadpool movie came out in 2018. I think that was 6 years ago. Holy shit. You know, I remember that because Rob Liefeld, one of the creators of Deadpool, was bitching about it 4 years ago when he was like, Disney won't just make Deadpool 3. And it was like, calm the fuck down, Rob. Alright? You're not even that important anymore. Chill. But anyway, like, I even talked to him on Twitter. I talked shit to him and he responded. Go look that up. It's there. It's still there. Anywho, enough about me talking shit to Rob Liefeld on Twitter and him responding. Also said something to James Gunn and he responded too, so, you know, track record here. Anywho, this movie, some people can say this movie has been in the makings for ever since, you know, Origins, in a way. I mean, that's when Ryan Reynolds came on to play Wade Wilson for the first time, and him and Hugh Jackman hit it off, and that's when Ryan Reynolds got the itch to play Deadpool for real. And he wouldn't get to do it for many years later, but then he eventually got to do it finally. And Hugh Jackman, and it's from the very first Deadpool, there has always been jabs at Hugh Jackman and Wolverine. There's always been jabs. There's always been jokes. I mean, the first Deadpool ended with him with a paper, with like a cutout fucking paper version of Hugh Jackman's face stapled on his face. So like, it's always been there. I mean, Deadpool 2 started with them making fun of Logan. Like, it's always kind of been, I don't want to say in the air, so to speak, is Deadpool and Wolverine. And obviously, in the comics, Deadpool and Wolverine are very closely related. I mean, not only are they both Canadians, but they both went through the Weapon X programming. And as everybody already knows, Deadpool's regeneration came from Wolverine, came from experimentation with Wolverine's blood and flesh. So they have always been connected. And they've got many comics together, many comics of them fighting each other, of teaming up. And they're kind of at the hip. They're kind of two characters that are just kind of, what's the word I'm looking for here? I would say they're a lot like in the same vein as Cap and Iron Man. They're just a duo. They're a duo that's been connected to each other for a very, very long time. And when we got the news that they were doing a Deadpool 3, we were all excited. But then when we got the news, some people were worried. Some people thought that they were going to Disneyfy it, but, you know, Bob Iger and everyone came out and said, no, this is going to be R-rated, which I wasn't worried about that at all. But when we got the news that they were going to do a Deadpool 3, we were happy. Then we got the news it was going to be rated R, we were happy. We got the news Hugh Jackman was returning to play Wolverine side by side. Wolverine in this movie, we were happy. Honestly, even at the time when they announced it, I didn't think Hugh Jackman would be as big a part of this movie as he ended up being. I thought he would just, now while Deadpool technically is still the lead, he was like his co-star in it. He's on screen basically almost the same amount of time. From the moment that Hugh pops up, he's on screen as long as Deadpool's on screen. So he played a bigger role. He had a lot more screen time than I imagined he would. And hell, since we're spoiling shit, he survives. I thought for sure he'd die in this movie. But I digress. The movie really centers around this dynamic. The movie is carried by the dynamic of Wade Wilson and Logan, a.k.a. Wolverine and Deadpool, a.k.a. Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds, in their chemistry and dynamic. They really captured the comic book dynamic, which is these two indestructible people who have totally different, like Deadpool is like Wile E. Coyote / Bugs Bunny. Like, he is this cartoon, just off the max character, just spitting out shit and just saying all kinds of shit. Whereas Logan is angry. He doesn't talk a lot. He doesn't want to be here. He's disgruntled. So their dynamic is interesting. The angry, or someone described it, angry straight man and, you know, over the top man. And their dynamic works. It's ripped right out of the comics. I love every moment of it. Honestly, the movie sucked and they were great. It would still be a great movie. That's how good those two are together. It's amazing, honestly. It's a dream come true. Also, it's a dream come true to see Wolverine finally in the suit. Oh, man. Holy shit. Anyone older than 25 will understand that we've been waiting a long time to see Hugh Jackman in that suit. And they teased it in The Wolverine. I saw, which by the way is an underrated movie, The Wolverine. But they teased it at the end in The Wolverine and we never got it. as a lot of you know and some of you don't know, Bryan Singer hated the comics. Not unlike Christopher Nolan, but he hated the comics. He hated it so much that he had a whole jab in there about who want yellow spandex. Fuck that dude. Well, considering all the stuff we know about Bryan Singer now, fuck that dude. But anyways, also kind of cool, Kevin Feige got his start on that original X-Men movie, and him and Hugh Jackman have history together, which is kind of cool. But either way, like, that's a side note. That's just side note shit, the Hugh Jackman and Kevin Feige relationship. But we've been waiting so long to see that costume, and he's finally in it. He's in the yellow costume. He does have the mask and the cowl. He does have it. You don't get it till near the end of the movie, but when you get it, trust me, it was worth it. I had a nerdgasm right there in the theater. When he put the fucking cowl on and started going to work, I was feeling things, man. I was feeling things. I was like, there's a lot of people in this theater for me to be feeling the way I'm feeling about this movie. I am feeling shit right now. But I digress. It's great to see him in the costume. It's great to see it. It's awesome. Also, even Deadpool's costume is more comic book accurate. The red is a little bit... Because in the past, the red was kind of dimmed. Like, the colors were a little dimmer. Now the red pops. He even has the belt buckle. He's got adamantium blades. Like, yeah, he's more Deadpool in the comics. Except he doesn't have that teleporter belt just yet. I wonder if he'll ever get that teleporter belt, because I thought that was like a part of his skill set, but turns out it's not. But I hope he gets the teleporter belt one day. Either way, to get into the story, though, Deadpool wants, like, the big things Deadpool wants to matter. And really, this entire movie comes down to wanting to be important. And importance in wanting to be important and not realizing how important you are. Case in point, minor spoilers, Deadpool and Vanessa are having this whole rough thing because in the beginning of the movie, because she feels like he's not doing anything with his life. He's having a great time, but he's not like the things he could be doing with his superpowers, the person he could be, he's not maximizing what he could do. And which kind of depresses him out and makes him go into a tailspin where he's like, okay, I want to matter. I want to do something important. So he goes to the Marvel 616 universe. Like, I believe it's like he's there, like, I can't think, 2017 or something like that. Like, he's there after Civil War just happened. Put it in terms. He shows up, he's talking to Happy Hogan, who I did not, why out of all the cameos in this movie, that one caught me off guard. Almost, not the most, but that one definitely caught me off guard. I don't know why. I was like, what the fuck happened? John Favreau, Happy Hogan, okay. And he wants to join the Avengers. Now, obviously, they do this interesting thing in this movie where there is a meta commentary on everything. But in particular, and the MCU manages to somehow simultaneously, and I don't know how the fuck they pull it off, like, stroke their own ego by being like, if you're not in one of our movies, then whatever you're doing wasn't that important. While at the same time saying, wait a minute, while at the same time saying, no, that's not what we think, that's what you think. Like, it's a weird thing they did here, because by the time the movie wraps up and Deadpool, spoiler alert, doesn't go to the MCU world, it just stays in his world, and his world has a new anchor being. By the time it wraps up, you're like, so they simultaneously said, we're awesome and we're important, but that doesn't make you less important. That doesn't make any other universe less important. That doesn't make any, like, that's almost like they're saying it doesn't make any other franchise less important because you're not with us, though we still are more important. It's a weird fucking thing. It's a weird, like, I was very impressed at Marvel and Disney in general. I can't believe Disney let him get away with so many jokes. I mean, from the pegging to the cocaine use to the making fun of the Marvel phases to the making fun of Marvel being PG to the making fun of them bringing back why Hugh Jackman's even in the movie. Like, there's so much. I'm talking about the budget. Like, he goes at Disney hard in this movie. Oh my God. I was so surprised Marvel and Disney were willing to let him go that hard. But either way, he wants to be important. And Logan, as it turns out, you know, you've probably seen the trailer. They say he's the worst Wolverine because he let his reality down, and that's why he's the worst Wolverine. Well, turns out, if you were sticking to the importance thing, he didn't So Wade Wade and Wolverine are on similar paths, except Wolverine's path, he went the ultimate too far. Because both of them didn't realize how important they were to their loved ones. They kind of they put other bullshit above it. And the villains, ironically, want to be more important than they actually are, which leads to their downfalls. So the movie is about, the big core of this movie is about importance, and essentially about being important. You don't gotta be important to the world. You just gotta be important to the people you give a shit about. And that's it. Because Logan didn't realize how important he was to his version of the X-Men, and they died. Because he didn't realize how important he was. And ironically, people like Cassandra Nova, who's the villain in the Void, and that's a whole fucking thing. Cassandra being the twin in the womb sister of Charles Xavier, so having very similar powers to him. But either way, she wanted to be more important than she should have been. So instead of surviving in the Void, she goes up and tries to do shit and dies. Same thing with what's his name? Paradox. Paradox, he had a cushy job, but he wanted to move up the ladder. He wanted to be more important, and it led to his downfall. So that's the heart of the movie. But in the movie, there's so many cameos. First of all, Blade. Wesley Snipes' Blade. Elektra. Yes, just Jennifer Garner's Elektra. Goddamn Channing Tatum showing up as Gambit. What the fuck? But the big one. Chris Evans returning as the Human Torch. What the fuck? That one got me. I was watching with my friend. I was like, what is this? And there's a whole joke like, flame on. You're like, wow. It was so crazy seeing him, man, and seeing how he died pretty viciously. The action set pieces in this are awesome, particularly that opening set piece. As Deadpool digs up Logan's grave from the movie Logan, digs up his grave, and commences to use the corpse to murder like 40 TVA agents, all while doing it dancing to Bye Bye Bye. So it's bye bye bye. Like, and he's doing the dance from, like, that whole sequence at the beginning is a fucking mind trip, dude. Like, it's Deadpool in a nutshell. All of that was just Deadpool, dude. But in the end, this movie is a love letter to Fox. This movie does three things. It establishes Deadpool as he's aware of the MCU. He's aware of the main MCU timeline. He has access to the MCU timeline. It establishes that. Boom. It also establishes this idea of anchor beings who are tantamount to their reality being able to continue, and without them, then their reality doesn't anymore. Then their reality slowly starts to die. So it establishes that, and the third thing it is a love letter to the Fox movies, because everything's about importance, and even all these cameos. These are people who feel like, who want to be important to their world. Like it's crazy to get told like you and your reality ain't important. Like not only just your reality ain't important. That's a crazy thing to say. And seeing some of these variants, some Jared, like some of these like Gambit, which is a hilarious thing with Gambit. By the way, they just keep going at that man. The thing is, everyone is making a video about this. The videos are so fucking long because there's just so much in it. I just want to get my review out there. This was an awesome movie. Amazing action, amazing needle drops, great heart, and a great story at its core. It's funny as hell. It's epic as hell. It's like, you know, seeing Wesley Snipes and all these different actors, and seeing Laura, seeing X-23 come back, and like just seeing all of these characters. It was just so exciting. It was so exciting. It was so fun, and it leaves you on a note where you really don't know where things are going next. They don't really set anything up. They really don't. Like, it's a very isolated movie. Like it don't really set much up. It is like, if you've been watching all three of the Deadpool 2, if you watch Deadpool 1 and Deadpool 3 and you watch 2 and you watch this, you're fine. You don't got to see the rest of the MCU. I mean, sure, it'd be nice to know what who the TVA are. That would be nice, but you don't got to enjoy this movie. Like I said, the movie could have easily just been ran on the chemistry between Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman as Wolverine and Deadpool, but it's even more than that. I mean, like I say, it's so fucking funny. It's so fucking epic. I give Deadpool and Wolverine, it's a 9, man. It's a solid 9 for me. Like, I don't know if I could go 10, but man, it's it's pretty fucking awesome. Like, I'm gonna see it again. I'm definitely gonna see it again. Anyways, thank you guys for joining the Comic Movie Show. Please leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Goodbye.